Well, this is Coach Wallace. Some of you have asked me about an AVID strategy that we referred to at the beginning of the year called philosophical chairs that we do with our students. And I just want to kind of share with you an example, share some details about it with you. So first off, philosophical chairs is a great kind of controlled debate activity. There will be two sides in the room. And these are the guidelines that I talk through with my students. And I would do some kind of a read along. This is just a Google Doc, but what I would probably do in class is I would change some of these words to different colors. And so then I would tell them, all right, I'm going to read the black words and then you read the white words. And so we would talk about and we would just talk through each point. Absolutely. When you are debating something, be strong and passionate in your opinion, while communicating with a tone of great respect and love. I talk a lot about that alliteration helps me remember things. And so we want to not take things personally, but we want to have a professional tone of respect for one another and an understanding that just because you disagree with my opinion doesn't mean that that's a personal attack on me. That's just a difference of opinion. They must choose a side. There can be no middle ground. You either are on one side or the other. And the part of this that's different than just a normal debate thing would be that you must reiterate or rephrase the ideas that the person who spoke before you. So you'll see that here in just a second, but you'll say to them, I hear your opinion and believe you are saying, and I make them come back to this and come back to this and come back to this. And so they must say the name of the student who just spoke before them. Chris, I hear your opinion and believe you are saying da 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 da. Yet I disagree and believe, or yet I disagree because, and then they need to go into their point. And then if someone's talking on one side and they convince someone on the other side, you can change sides at any point. Typically beforehand, I try to give them the topic if I want to have some research done before. They can have some brainstorming time. Bullet points, have notes with you as you get ready to share. I also tell everyone in the room, you can at least two people. So like if Chris speaks, so that Chris doesn't own the discussion, own the debate, then two people on his side have to speak again before Chris can speak again. And so that really means that multiple people have gone because it's going to go back and forth. And so that would be a total of 4 or 5 people before he spoke again. So that he's needing to hear new ideas and things before he speaks. Also, if the person does not reiterate or rephrase fully what's been said prior to them, then the person can say, I don't know that you got everything that I said. Can I say it again? And then you rephrase it again. And then that's kind of the basic format. So this is a great way to like a good warm up. I think if you wanted to start class this way, or if you wanted to really lead into some kind of a reading or a topic that you really wanted to, then you could do that. So for example, recently we did a warm-up activity. This was our warm-up. We were leading into, this is our warm-up right here, is just at the beginning of the year. I think it's really fun for them to, all right, come up with debatable topics. From silly ones, from fast food, to really controversial ones in our world today, and then just do a couple fun ones. We did Chick-fil-A versus Raising Cane's. Most people can enter into that dialogue. Even if you're vegetarian, you can enter into that dialogue. And so then recently, just to kind of refresh their philosophical chair's muscles, here was our statement. So you would have a slanting statement written. So we did Taylor Swift is clearly the greatest musical artist of all time. All right. And so then on this side of my Google slide, I hear your opinion and believe you're saying, yet I disagree because. All right. And so you're going to have two sides of the room. You're going to have, I believe Taylor Swift is the greatest musical artist of all time, and I do not. Now, I had people who were like, I had just a few on the Taylor Swift side, and so I had people going, oh, let's see who can really argue, and really challenge them. Sometimes what you can also do is just get them to their sides and then flip the topic. And so of going, okay, you thought you were on the side that Taylor Swift is the greatest musical artist of all time, but actually I'm going to flip it. Now you need to be able to argue that she is not. Like you're just going to flip it on them, because really this skill is also, it's helping them learn to think critically, to think and to verbalize their thoughts. It's a listening activity. It just hits on a lot of strategies and skills. How we use this in Avid recently is we led into an Avid weekly article that we were going to be reading. I'll show it to you. I believe I've got it right here. What extracurricular activities do colleges love to see? So we were going to lead into this to go into an activity after we did a really close read with an Avid strategy on how to read through things, and then we would have a reflection on it. So I wanted to do a philosophical chairs over this, so I composed a statement. Being involved in many extracurricular activities is better than being in only a few. And so then they got to take a side, and then they started to talk. And so we just went back and forth on this. And then when it got to a good point, then we entered into our reading. So this was a good warm up to engage them before we went into our reading. So I think you could use this in history, in science. I think you could use this in math. I think you could use this in English. I think that this is a great way to just kind of let them put their toe in the water on something, and really, it's not a debate. You're not going to score it. It's not any of those things, but it gives them an opportunity to enter into that. You can also set up a scoring system. I mean, do what you need to for your classroom. Like you could also tell them, if you're not getting volunteers, then just randomly call on people that they've got to be ready to rephrase what's been said to them at a moment's notice. So I've got video from our AVID III, our junior students, discussing this activity right here, and then some reflection at the end. So I hope you enjoy.
I mean, to me, one thing I've always learned is networking is the most important thing, because you know as much as the person. How should I put it? The knowledge that you have is the combined knowledge of everyone you know. So the resources that you have access to.
And believe you are saying that in most cases, it's definitely better to be in more extracurricular activities and get more coaches, like more views from coaches and more opinions from coaches and stuff. Yeah, I disagree, because in a school like Marcus, where it's like such a big school with so many people trying to do so many things, if you try to participate and spread your time to multiple extracurricular activities, it makes it really tough to get into certain ones.
Zinni, I hear your opinion and believe that you're saying that colleges look at like a variety of what you do and they want to see like more like branching out and stuff. But I agree with that, but I disagree, because they also look at like what you've been in like all through high school. Like I've been in like color guard and AVID all through high school, and they see like how dedicated you are to those things, and they want you to be like committed to something.
You want to go ahead and dedicate your time, because colleges look that you have that leadership experience in those selective organizations. But I do disagree, on the other hand, is because
So after a philosophical chair, what we will do is we will do a whip around reflection. So what a whip around is students will go back to their group, to their table, and I'll say, we're gonna do a whip around, a whippa, and they'll say round. And a whip around is a very quick reflection. Students speak for less than 10 to 15 seconds. Usually I give them some kind of sentence stem. And so what the students at the table that you can see right here is they have just shared their whip around on, what did they gain from this activity. I wanted them to like make the connection of, why did we do this? Why did we do philosophical chairs today? What did you gain from it? What did you garner from it? And so each of these students are going to share what they got out of doing philosophical chairs, how they were able to connect, and then this is going to transition into then our close reading of our AVID weekly article.
So we said that we did it to like improve our critical thinking skills and like communicating with our classmates better with
Good,
different
awesome.
opinions.
Peyton, why do you think that we just did philosophical chairs?
To learn that when other people have different opinions than you, that you still need to respect them and that they're still your classmates.
Good. Anne Mary, what'd you get out of it?
To see everyone's different viewpoints, because like everyone has a different viewpoint.
Love it. Good.
Thank you to our juniors for doing such a great job on this. If you have any questions, then please email me, Coach Wallace, at wallacee@lasd.net, and we'll provide you any resources or help that we can. Thanks so much. Small things. Great love.